Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on some mixed media tags. I'm basically just using papers that I have already in my stash. So I was part of a Trading Papers Pals on Instagram, and I just kind of stumbled upon it, and I'm so glad I did because basically there were five of us, well, five including our own selves, so four other people that I needed to assemble at least 10 pages or 10 sheets of some kind of mixed media paper or something that they can use for collage in their mixed media projects or junk journals or whatever it is, and then mail it to them. So I decided to make these little tags because I was going to put my information on them, and I didn't have any specific idea of what I was going to do, but I knew I wanted them fun and funky. So I pulled out that one solid piece, and if you noticed, it was pretty ugly. I mean, I will admit that, which a lot of mixed media paper is. But look at how pretty they are when you cut them down to size. I guess they're kind of covered up right now, but you can see right there, like they just really just stand out so much more when they're cut down into pieces. And then I pulled out my little cosmetic bag that I use for all my scraps of just all these bits and pieces of just color and scraps and stuff that looks like garbage but really isn't. I use this pad of paper to use as my gluing station. I do have the craft mat underneath that grid mat. The reason why I don't like to film with it is because it's kind of funky. I don't know, that makes little weird lines, but anyhow, so I just use my paper pad, and this is just a scrap pad that I have on my desk to take my notes and stuff, but I'm just layering just whatever. I'm just kind of grabbing stuff, I'm tearing things. Like I mentioned before, no rhyme or reason. I always like to throw a little black in. I just think it just kind of gives your eyes a place to rest, even if that black has a little bit of pattern paper. It could just be my own personal opinion, but I just like to add a little black in everything. I'm cutting them into tags, and you saw how I made those corners even. I'm just grabbing a little bit of splatter. So each of these tags is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be honest with you. This first tag I end up not liking at all. So I end up making an additional tag at the end because I just wasn't sure about it. But I'm going to go ahead and stop talking. And then I'm just going to put on some music, I hope, if I can figure this out. And you could just watch as I fumble my way into making the other tags just using bits and pieces. Like, look at this thing. That thing should have been in the trash, but it just adds such a fun element with it being kind of funky cut. And again, probably should have been trash, but you know what? It makes it into a treasure, right? That's a whole, I guess, a good definition of trash to treasure. And okay, all right. Thanks for watching. I wanted to point out that those funky leaf shape green stenciling looking thing is really what it seems like it. I cut a bunch of leaves on my Cricut to use for a project, and then I kept that portion because I thought it would make a good stencil. I do this a lot, and then when I do use it as a stencil, it gets a lot of ink or paint or some kind of goodies on it. And I did the same thing with this part right here. Those were circles, and you can see all that beautiful painted mess. And again, first of all, garbage, but I ended up using it as a stencil. And then once it was a stencil, again, garbage, but I kept it because of all that paint stuff. And you can even see the leaf ones, how it has the yellow on there. It just looks so pretty. And so when you cut them up and put them on this type of product or, anything, it just adds just a lot of funkiness. And it's so unique because it isn't something you can buy and really probably not make if you were trying to do it on purpose. But use your stuff. I'm telling you, there's so much treasure in your craft room that you're not even aware of. So back to the music. And when something else comes up, I'll definitely pop in and let you know what it's all about. Thanks again for watching. Before I stop talking, I am going to mention I do post 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking. That is my first love. And the second is whatever it is I'm creating in the command center. And that could be really anything. Like these tags are a perfect example. I do a lot of paper projects, but I also work with my Cricut. So if you're interested in just anything crafty, I really do encourage you to, first of all, like this video if you like the video. And second, hit that subscribe button, because there is going to be lots of goodies and lots of goodness coming, and also already been filmed. Thanks again. You can really tell that I'm really trying hard to make this one tag work. So I keep kind of adding things, papers and marks and this and that, but I realize I just do not like it. So that's why I pulled out this next one, another just one of those smaller pieces that I cut from that original 8x10 piece of paper. And I just decided, yeah, I just need another one, because I only needed 4, but I went ahead and made 5 because I'm going to do something with that one that I just didn't like, which who knows, I may show something later with that one. So like I said, make sure you hit subscribe, because it will be on this channel if I decide to do something different with it. And in fact, as I'm doing my voiceover right now, I already have something in mind, so stay tuned for that. Again, I mentioned that piece of, or that scrap paper pad, I was using it as my glue pad. This paper pad I've had forever, so I'm not mad at the fact that I'm wasting paper, if that's what, I'm kind of putting it in air quotes, but it's serving its purpose as my glue pad. So I'm just showing you again those really fun looking stencils. Use my crocodile to poke holes in the top, and I am going to put some twine, and in the back there I'm just putting my information, my name, my Instagram account name, and hopefully you're taking note, because I am on Instagram as well. Usually whatever I'm filming is on Instagram, and of course there's more photos on Instagram than probably on my YouTube channel, because it's so much easier to post finished photos than it is to film a video, edit it, voiceover, etc., etc., etc. So you could tell here I'm actually kind of on a roll. That right there is the inside of an envelope, and I just literally grabbed a black marker and drew lines. But look at, again, there's just so much treasure in junk, and it's so amazing once you start playing how you can find these things. Glue stick, best friend when you're putting these things together. All right, I'll stop talking again and enjoy your music. Bye.